How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build that positive mindset. My name is Henry, and I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today, because in this episode, we're going to talk about why most therapy doesn't work. Mindset work, personal development, why it doesn't actually work, and what you can do to shift that. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So you can pick a word. It could be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say this word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one's about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive state. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. Well, before we get started, if there's something that resonates with you in this episode, if you're on Spotify or YouTube, you can actually leave a comment below. Not only does that help me understand what resonated with you, but somebody else might read that comment and it might inspire them to give the episode a listen. My goal is to make this the #1 mindset podcast in the world, and the best way to do that would be together. So whether you leave a comment or you share it with somebody who you believe it might help, it would mean the absolute world to me, and I'm so thankful to be on this growth journey with you. Now let's dive into today's message. So why does therapy not always work? Why does personal development not always work? This is something that I was actually having a conversation with somebody earlier, and this idea, this thing just sparked in my mind, and it became so clear. You can't heal with expectation. You can't grow with expectation. That is not growth. That is trying to receive something. You cannot try to receive something. If the law of attraction is true, that means the law of attraction is always happening. If you're trying to receive something, that means you're operating in the absence of something. And we're going to break this down so it makes a little bit more sense, but that's what it is. You cannot operate in lack and then become someone that is not in lack. An example of this would be this. You go to therapy to help your relationship. The relationship isn't working, and so you go to work with someone to figure out what's going on with you. You see, if you're going to therapy to make the relationship better, that's going with an expectation. One, that you're broken or something is broken. And two, if you go to this person, if you develop enough, you can solve something external. There is no external solve. It is always internal. If you want personal development, if you want to grow, then you work on oneself. You cannot work on oneself to receive a specific outcome. That's operating in lack. Now, we have goals. That's okay. You can have a goal. You can create a positive vision of who you want to become. But those are just guidance. That is not the purpose. That's why I work on the perfect day. You see, when you create your perfect day, and when I work with somebody one-on-one, this is one of the first things we normally do. When you create your perfect day, the version of that day that you start with and the version of that day that you view a month, 2 months, 3 months down the road as you've gone through personal development changes. So if you have this fixed expectation that if I go through this therapy that I will be better for my spouse, if I go through this therapy that I'll be better for work, you're limited. You're not allowing yourself to truly expand. If you're going to grow, then your desires are going to grow as well. So you can't have permanent desire for a certain thing if you are trying to evolve. It doesn't work that way. So if you've been doing something, if you've been listening to this podcast to make your relationship better with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse, it's not going to work that way because you're operating with the idea or the belief that you are in lack. And if you're operating in the sense that you are lack, then you are going to grow as somebody with lack, and you're going to attract more of what your previous state and your current state is. You have to go into personal development with the sole purpose to grow. Give yourself permission to change what it is that you're looking to do. Give yourself permission to evolve beyond the current goals. That doesn't mean you can't work with somebody like myself or anybody or listen to books or podcasts trying to achieve something. Just don't allow it to be permanent. Because what you envision now is limited by your current state. So if you're going to change your current state, but you're saying you want to go to the same fixed point, you can only change so much, because if you change too much, you will not be able to go to that fixed point because it's based on your limited belief system, your limited energy, your limited love, whatever it is that you're trying to grow. So if you want to grow, then focus on that. If you want to heal, then focus on that. If you want to expand, then focus on that. Do not have a permanent goal. That's why with my money statement and the I am statements, it's not, I want to be paid exactly $1 million or these specific things, because I don't want to receive something based on my current understanding of the world. Because you got to remember, the world is not as it is as we are. So if it's as we are, what we're seeing as something good now or something beneficial now, when we heal, when we grow, it may not look the same. And so we may have been trying to attract something that is actually a negative to us, or actually a low frequency thing to us, because we were not in the proper perspective. We were not truly observing from the height that we're capable of doing. So don't focus on something fixed. Of course, have goals. Of course, have things that you're envisioning, but don't let them be solid. Allow them to flow with you. Allow them to be generated each and every day. Do not have something fixed. You are more than a fixed outcome. Do not have something specific. You are more than a specific outcome. You are everything. You are love. Your power, your strength, your forgiveness, you're all of those things ever flowing, not permanent. That's why the goal is to get into flow state. That's why we want to have our cup overfloweth versus just trying to fill the cup. You see, if you're operating as someone that fills up their cup and then pours it into the other, then you get in this cycle of filling yourself up, emptying yourself out, filling yourself up, emptying yourself out. That's what a fixed goal will do to you. Because you're going to fill up your cup to meet that goal, and then you're going to stop, and then you're going to pour everything into that goal, and then your cup will be empty again. That's not the goal. That's not the ultimate experience that's available to us. There's another level where you remove the cup entirely and you tap into the source of the energy and it flows through you. So not only do you receive it endlessly, but you're able to export it endlessly. It flows through you. You become the conductor, the channel, the river, the flow of that energy. That's the goal. That's the true power. That's your true essence. That's operating in that frequency. That's not tapping into the frequency to fill up your cup with that level of energy, tapping out of it, then going to pour. That's what a fixed outcome will do to you. You may have experienced this. You may have gone and done therapy or personal development or coaching or any of these things, or just self-work on yourself, and you achieve this one thing, but then you're right back in the low as soon as you achieve it. You find yourself in worse pain or same pain or more hurt or different hurt again and again and again. You're able to achieve a result and then it's empty afterward. You're able to accomplish something and then it's empty afterward. That's because you're filling your cup up, removing your cup from the energy source and pouring it out. Remove the cup entirely. Tap in to the energy. Allow yourself to be ever flowing. Have goals, have targets, but they're not fixed. You can say, this is my vision as of now. And as I elevate, as I grow, I allow myself to expand everything, including what it is that I desire, including what it is that I envision. That's true freedom. That's how you actually grow beyond your current state. The goal that you see now is still within the realm of your current understanding, your current belief system. So if you elevate and you do all these things to grow out of your current situation, but then you pull yourself into a target that's still within the realm, you're going to end up in the same cycle. So allow it to pull you forward, allow it to be a place to look, but then as you grow, look further. The healing never stops. The understanding of love never stops. The growth, this whole mission, this whole purpose never stops because it's always expanding. We will always have more to learn. We will always have more to accept, more to forgive. That's how the journey is. So allow yourself to flow, allow yourself to rise up and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective on how to set a goal and receive it. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook group all down below. I appreciate all the follows there. And if you listen to this episode and you're ready to take that next step, you want to level up, you recognize that working with somebody that understands how to grow, how to heal, how to expand, and move the growing target with you, this is what I do. I'm a mindset coach. I help people do exactly that. I'm currently booked, but depending on when you hear this episode, I might have some availability. The best way to reach out to me would be Instagram, which the link is down below. Or there's another link. If you fill that out, I will reach out to you directly and we can talk about how this program could be right for you. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.